And we are live. Hello, welcome to the weekly Book Art Media Writing Group. And we're here to just support each other, to set goals, to check in about goals, and share ideas for writing resources or whatever else we need to kind of encourage each other to go after our writing dreams and whatnot. So we're here every week at 4 p.m. Central Time in the U.S., Chicago time, and we have people from all over. So, and it looks like Michelle is frozen, unfortunately. Aletha is in the chat. Hello, Aletha. There's Sarah and Lynette, and Deb is here. And Michelle, I'm going to remove you just for a second, just because you're completely frozen. You can try again. So anyway, okay. Well, Lynette, you were telling us something. You were mentioning something absolutely amazing before we started about a something you've written.
Yeah. So what I was saying was, it's technically a Regency short story. It's on the border of Georgian and Regency. And I had written it for an anthology a long time ago. And it's like edited and everything. And I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna just put it out there. So I'm gonna have to like get a cover and write a blurb and format it and everything. But I'm just like, let's just self-publish it on Amazon and just do it to get it done. So yeah. And I know like they try to say Regency takes place from like 1810 to 1818 or something like that. But technically, from what I was looking at, 1795, because at different points through George III's illness, the Prince Regent would have to step in. So technically it is 1795. And my book is right after the French Revolution. So the Directory and Consulate in France would have overlapped throughout that time period. And I think in the Scarlet Pimpernel, George IV is referred to as the Prince Regent. So I don't know if he was regent at the time, but that book took place in 1793, 1794. So yeah, it's borderline Regency.
Hey, I never knew that. Thanks. That's good to know.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I adore everything about that. All of that. I adore everything about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
No, you're great.
Oh, it's the cat.
Allison.
Hi, Allison.
Hey,
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, Michelle.
Hi.
Hello. Okay, Lynette, so you're talking about do you think do you think you'll make a cover, or do you think you'll buy a cover, or what do you think you'll do? How do you think you'll go forward to self-publish?
I am not artistically inclined in terms of like the visual arts, so I will probably buy a pre-made cover or have someone make it. I did get a couple names from another writer friend in another group who does write Regency, and there are artists who specifically do Regency, but I found some pre-made covers that are like perfect. So I would just rather go with a pre-made cover for like $90, $120 and just put it out there and just get it done. So yeah.
Cool. And especially if you found something you like, that's amazing. That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you find pre-made covers?
You can find them if you just Google pre-made covers. You can find all kinds of sites. You can find them on Etsy, because there are certain independent artists who will do them on Etsy. I know of, I don't know if you've heard of Tamara Lush. She does, she's gotten hers for her cozy mysteries through Book Covers Creative. And then another writer, she's actually just starting, she got hers through Midnight Muse. So I would definitely look at those two sites.
Okay. Go on write.com, WRITE, is really good. And they've got some really good prices as well. So
okay. Yeah, I would like to take a look at that, because like sometimes you look at the less expensive end and it's not at all what It's not at all
right.
what you want. You want something that looks professional.
Right. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend them if they looked if they looked messed up. But no, Go On Right's got some good ones too. So
it's Go On Right.
yes,
Or right,
Go
just right.
On Right. WRITE, like you're writing.
Okay.
GoOnRight.com.
Okay.
And what were those other two sites you mentioned? Creative. Something.
I will put it. I'll send it a message to you because I have it bookmarked. It's
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and then the other one's Midnight News. So it's like Book Covers Creative.
Book Covers Creative. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll link it in the message on StreamYard.
Great. Thank you. Covers Creative.
And Book Covers Creative has a little bit of everything. Like if you do urban fantasy, contemporary romance, paranormal romance, like that's a really good place to look.
Okay. Great. We're building up our list of resources. This is awesome. So, and for formatting, how do you have something in mind for formatting? Or are you just going to do a straightforward document? Or I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I don't mean to be like, what are you doing? No, I just wonder if you had ideas or anything like that, or if you were still looking or you were looking for information.
Okay. Our sound was off for a minute, so.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm plugging in things over here.
Okay.
Okay.
I put something up to share
Okay.
that was related to my character's car.
I appreciate you guys doing that, but what you're putting up is actually in private chat, and no one in the actual chat's going to be able to see it. So you're.
Oh, how do we do it for the actual?
Comments at the very top. That's the that's the actual chat is at the top. It's very confusing, but I just wanted to let you know.
Okay.
Oh, that's where it is.
Okay. Yeah.
So you don't have to keep going back and forth to the other screen.
No. Yeah, we'll just keep it so everybody can see.
Huh.
So,
okay. Yeah, I will. I'll put it in the comments then. And I did find Go On Right. Yeah, I was just getting really weird feedback for a minute, and I think I might have had my my YouTube on. Anyways,
Aletha saying, "Yay, congrats, Lynott." So, so anyway, Lynott, did you have any? I wasn't trying to put you on the spot. I was wondering if you had any ideas on how to format, or if you had a plan or anything like that.
I have no idea of what I am doing. I know that you did provide some links during NaNoWriMo as to how to format, so I might just follow that. So I was thinking I would go that way. I do have it in, I do have Scrivener, so I do have it in a Word file, and I could put it in a compatible Kindle file through Scrivener. So that always works.
Okay, well, cool. Thank you. For anyone who's thinking about, there are various options on how to format ebooks, but the place to start is actually just a very simple, straightforward, like just a Word document, and you won't get anything fancy, and it'll just say chapter 1. And it'll have the paragraphs and what have you. But you can just use a straightforward document with text on it for an ebook. You can upload that straight into KDP. I just wanted to throw that out there because sometimes it can feel like, oh my gosh, it's so complicated. It doesn't have to be. You can use other options if you have the time.
Okay.
Or the resources, or if or you want something specific or what have you, but I don't want anybody to feel like, gosh, I'd publish this if only, or I have this another major hurdle to get through. No, it's that's one of the few things they've made very straightforward and simple.
Okay, good.
So, yeah. There's, I think the most, kind of the best one is the hardest to get to, and that's Vellum. Makes absolutely gorgeous ebooks, it formats, print books, ebooks, you name it, but you have to have a Mac. You have to have a Mac. You can't have an iPad. You can't have, it has to be a Mac. Can't have a Windows computer. It's extremely limiting. It's also 200 and Sarah, you've got it.
250.
It's $250.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
once you got it, you can just, especially if you're cranking out the books. But there are other options. There is Draft to Digital. They have, and actually you don't even have to put your book out through them. You can just sign up for a free account at Draft to Digital. Draft and then the number 2 digital.com. You can put your ebook in there, and they have a couple of different, you can even download it in a couple of different templates, what they have in mind, but you just put your text in and it formats it for you, and you can download it and just upload it over to upload it into Kindle. I've seen actual writers put out like mysteries or what have you on, I'd open up an ebook and it's like, I recognize that, that scroll work. I recognize they went through Draft to Digital, and because it's easy. And, these are professional writers. I can think of one in particular. I know her. She writes for a living, and it's like, there you go. So it starts getting more complicated when you start talking about print books. Excuse me, at some point we will be talking about print books. It will come up eventually. But the thing about print books is the formatting is not impossible. It's really not that bad. There's just, a couple of things you really need, like page numbers. Oh, sorry. Hang on. Excuse me, sweetheart.
They're helpful.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh, I know. Hang on. Let me grab this. Show you. Yeah. The thing about print books is, like this book was, the ebook version of this was, Amazon itself was pushing this. It wasn't just like, oh, they were buying ads. No, Amazon themselves was pushing this. They were really behind this book, and they put it out there. It's a great book. I absolutely loved it. And I've got the audiobook. I decided to get the print book. So I'm like, great, I got the print book, and and there's space between each of the paragraphs, which is a big no. There's, the font is just no. That's not what the inside of a book looks like. There are no page numbers. There's no name of the author. There's no name of the book, but there are no page numbers. And that's a pretty good sized book. And it's like, what are you doing? And it was a successful book. So I'm like, come on, you could do basic things. But what really makes putting out a print book really, really complicated is this right here. This, from the front to the back here, this is one piece, and it's called a flat. And it's called a flat because when they print it, it's flat. And back when, like, what publishers would do when they go to like the buyers at Barnes and Noble is they would come with a whole pile of flats. They wouldn't even come with any of the interiors of the books, and they'd lay the flats out on great big tables. And the Barnes and Noble buyers would go down and be like, okay, I like that one. I want this. I want that. I want this other. And it's like, well, they didn't even look at and that's why, and in the person I heard this from, one of the things is that was chosen was specifically, the author had called it Area 51. It was fiction, but they just call it Area 51. And the buyer was like, oh yeah, I want that. And because the author was like, yeah, that's why I gave it that title, because just if all you can see is a flat, that would ring bells in their minds, and yep, they bought copies and put them in Barnes and Noble.
Totally judging a book by its cover.
Yes, Aspie Third Eye. Sad to say, most people actually do judge books by their cover. Yeah. So, but the thing is about creating flats, they're easy enough to create. The hardest thing is actually getting the image of it a high enough pixels per inch kind of, because it goes fuzzy really fast. But it's how big do you make the spine? There's math involved. It's complicated, and it's so if you ever want to make a print book, that's right there. That's the big hurdle is this. So it's doable, but this is also why when you deal with traditional publishers, if they say they want books that are of this particular length, they don't want it longer than this or shorter than this, it's because they've already calculated out their spines. They want things that are about this size, so they don't have to redo all of them. They can just keep using the same basic thing, and they don't have to redo the spines for all the books for the different books.
Would that fall under the 50 to 80,000 word category for novels?
Well, something like this would be more like 80 to 100.
Okay.
But yeah, but this, I was so disappointed in the print version of this.
That one might be 50, considering it's got all of the spaces in it, actually.
It does have a lot of space, but it's fairly good size. I don't know. Anyway, but generally a spine this size is that's going to be your 80 to 100 kind of thousand usually. Yeah, but anyway, so that's when if publishers are talking about it has to be a certain length, they're not just being picky about, oh, our readers like this certain thing. It's
formatting.
Math. Yeah. This is the issue. So anyway, but we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Let's see. Yep. Aspie Third Eye saying that will be the beauty of self-publishing with UM's print shop, total freedom for thickness, font, and everything. Yeah. I mean, that's good. The other thing you get into is you don't have to worry about it with ebooks. In print books, the font is an issue too, but that's a whole other conversation. Beat my head against this desk. Most people will even just use Times New Roman, but technically you're not supposed to. You don't have the rights to make money from it. But I've seen people do it, and they just go on and keep going. So yeah, it's a whole thing.
So what font do people usually use?
Oh, that's a long conversation. It varies. It varies. And the most commonly used ones that publishers are using are very expensive, relatively speaking, but they're very expensive. You have to buy use of them. The ones you can use for free can be quite good. but it's which one do you choose, because how it's going to sit on the page and how dark it's going to be. Some people swear by crimson text. I think crimson text is too heavy. It gets too black and makes it harder to read because it's too much. Garamond is lovely. But there are versions of Garamond. There's is it Dubriel? It's very much like the font they use on do you guys the old covers of like French novels, where when they show you when walking by the Seine, and they're the book stalls and they're picking up books, and they have those very simple text covers back in the day in movies and things. That's I think it's Dubriel or something like that. I'd have to look it up. I've got it marked. Beautiful. But you make it small, like text, the kind that on the cover, gorgeous. You put it in here, the lines disappear. They're too thin. This is a constant battle. So if you don't want to spend a huge amount of money, but there are good options. I'm just picky, and things that some people use, it's like, I wouldn't have done that, but okay.
So you're saying
Right.
there are some fonts that are public domain, but others are owned.
Yes.
Okay.
And frankly, Google fonts are usually free to use.
Oh, good.
So that's always a good place to start. Just look for a plain serif font. Sans. I'm sure you guys probably know, but in case there's somebody ever watching this who isn't, a serif font has the extra lines, and the sans serif means without the extra lines. So it looks like something on a computer screen, like the Arial, where you get the very simple. This is sans serif. It does not have. It's just very clean lines. So. I don't have anything serif handy actually, but the other kind with the like little feet on all the letters, that's serif. So anyway, yes, do not put.
I would not have known that. Thank you.
This is all kinds of serifs. So this is, even though this has a special design, but
there's the little feet. Inside of a book, interiors of books that are fiction should usually be serif. This one is sans serif, which is just one more thing I have against it. Normally, if you have sans serif, you have the simplified in a text in a book like this in text version. It's usually a nonfiction. And quite often it's a manual on how to do something. So. Yeah, but anyway, so print books are more complicated, but it's not insurmountable. Well, duh. Why didn't I just grab mine? Whereas, or you get, oops, which way? Yeah, and you get page numbers, and you get little feet on the text. So. And it says up here it has my name, and over here it has the name.
So,
of the
Sebastian,
book.
would you say that it's better if you do an ebook and you?
Are you there?
If you do an ebook, is it better? Oh, I must be lagging. If you do an ebook, should you set it up to be printed? Would that be helpful to have it set and ready to go for print as well?
They're different. They're different, and the formatting's going to be much more simple with an ebook. In a print book, you've got these different, like, how much space do you have before it says chapter? You've got you have your name on the left-hand page. You've got the name of the book on the right-hand page. You have nothing on chapters. Chapters begin on. You've got all the front matter stuff that you're dealing with, and in print books, chapters are supposed to begin on the right hand page, there are no page numbers on beginning of pages that are the beginning of chapters. There's all this stuff to do with print that you don't have to even think about with ebooks. So, but see this, I love this. I'm really difficult, you know. I know how. I really wanted to make this as good as possible, and that was very important to me. And I'm glad I can be proud of the formatting of this. That it's decent. If nothing else about my book, it's decently formatted. There's nothing wrong with my formatting. But I don't know. It's worth it. But it's
reason
I've got a lag again. I'm afraid.
I have a
Try
lag.
again,
Sorry.
It's okay.
The reason I ask is because a lot of times when I would order a book on Kindle, I could have the choice of downloading it as an ebook, or you could get the print copy as well. And I didn't know if they were paired up somehow.
They might be reformatting it into some kind of print version, but I haven't looked specifically at the formatting of that.
Oh, okay.
From what I remember, it's been a while since I did it, so maybe it's improved. But when the last time I did it, it wasn't all immensely useful.
Oh.
Someone who's typing, if you wouldn't mind muting your microphone if you're going to be typing, because we can hear you typing. Just so you know.
Sorry.
No. I didn't even know who it was. I didn't even know who it was. I was just.
How do I mute? Oh.
There we go. All right. Okay, but generally people start with an ebook, and it sounds like Lynette's going to start with an ebook. And Sarah, I believe, and I know I am.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. All right. Let me see. Is there anything else? Okay. So how is the let's just go along. Hey, Sarah.
Hi.
You're right there.
Hi.
So guess what? Hot poke. How's the writing going? How's the thing? How's the print? The publishing? The
Great. This last week I got in 12,926 words. So that's where I ended. So yay!
You rock.
Thank you. All of the things that I said that I had to be done by today, I actually got them done yesterday. So I finished Lavender, I finished the first chapter of the sequel, and I finished my reader magnet. And the reader magnet drove me nuts because I had an outline and my characters were like, what is this? We're going to do what we want. You don't tell us what to do. And so then they just, took me along this other ride, and there we go. So I finally got that done. And today I am working on edits, and I have been in edit land all day. And I'm going to be in edit land tomorrow too. So and hopefully by Monday I can be in formatting land and playing in Vellum. So that's the goal.
Okay. Have you had any trouble with the edits, or do you have any tools you're using? Anything?
The edits that I received back from my editor, I need to do. She and I need to work a little better and get a little clearer communication, because I found some things that still needed to be edited. So I'm having to run everything through the Hemingway app, which Sebastian has recommended before. So once I get done incorporating all the evidence I was given, I'm going to run everything through Hemingway. And then I'm going to run everything through the grammar, the grammar thing on Word, and get it to check that. So that way, hopefully that will catch everything. And then beyond that, it is what it is. So at that point, I'm just tired. And I'm sorry, guys. Normally, I'm a lot perkier. This last week has just drained me something fierce. I'm just... So...
You've accomplished great things.
Thank you. Thank you. And now I want to accomplish a great nap. That's where I'm at. So, and thank you, Aletha. But yeah, so I got it done, and this next week I'm going to spend formatting and getting ready because I have to have the manuscript turned in to my ARC readers by Wednesday, and then it's got to be turned in to Amazon by Friday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, I need to finish my edits this weekend so that way I can play in Vellum on Monday.
You got a tight schedule.
I do. And then immediately after that, I have to go to work on the sequel. I haven't set a release date for that yet because I haven't decided to be that insane. Again. But I have a feeling my PA will poke me in the shoulder and start bugging me for a date here soon. So we'll get there, but that's me. So next week I'm all about editing and formatting. I have no idea what my word count will be. I have no word count goals for next week. So.
Oh, it doesn't sound like you need them.
Yeah. Right.
Your PA?
Personal assistant. Yes. I go through the Hatters group and I use Brittany Franks. She's amazing. She handles all of my stuff with my reader group and whatnot. She keeps all of that, going, and she does all of my promotional graphics and whatnot, and puts them all over social media. And she handles, because I don't have time for it. When I first started, I did, and I don't have time. So Brittany handles all of that, and she's amazing. So, yeah.
Very cool. Wow. I didn't even know that you could hire somebody to do that. Is it just piecemeal? Is it like do you pay for a certain amount of things? Or if you don't mind, I'm not asking the amount.
No, they're fine. No, they have packages, and it depends on where you're at and what you need. So, if you just need somebody to handle your newsletters because you don't have time to do that, or you don't feel like messing with that or whatever, they do that. If you need somebody to handle your promotional graphics, just the graphics, they'll do that. If you need somebody to handle making all your posts in social media and keeping whoever joined your reader group engaged and spinning all your plates for you and poking you in the head to remind you to eat every now and then, they'll do that. And that's what I signed up for. So, yeah, Brittany's like, you need coffee? Go get you some coffee. I'm like, okay, coffee. So that's where I'm at.
Two things. One, you need coffee. I mean, if anybody needs coffee, it's you. But secondly, is it? You said the Hatters group?
The Hatters group, yes. As
in Mad Hatters?
Yes, as in Mad Hatters. And Brittany Franks is my personal assistant, and she's amazing. So she'll tell you that she's able to do everything but babysitting and dishes. So yeah, she won't do your dishes, she won't babysit, and she won't change diapers. But beyond that, she's on it. So yes.
Wow. Cool. Thank you for that. Did you check with other things like, are there like different people who've set themselves up? Is there different groups or?
Well, I had been thinking about getting a PA for quite a while, and she just came very highly recommended to me from different authors who used her, and then I looked on their website and saw, and I'll get that website to you so you can put it in the description box. But I looked on the website and saw their different packages that they have, and I was like, okay, yes, I fit there. That's the one that fits me. So, yes. She'll even do editing too, but I have a different editor, although that might be changing. I'm not quite sure yet, but we'll see. So,
wow. All right. I haven't done any research into this yet. So, yeah, that's a fantastic place to at least start. Wow. Sorry, I'm just blown away by that. All right. Well, you are rocking. You are on it, and it's very impressive. It's very impressive.
thank you. Thank you. It means a lot for you to say that. I appreciate that.
Okay. Could you so if you wouldn't mind poking Lynette over there. There you go. Okay. So when do you think you'll thank you. When do you think you'll do you have a date set or anything for your when you want to do this?
I'm thinking like spring, summer, but then I think summer is like a slower season, so I might wait until fall. Because I mean, I do want to finish my cozy mystery and get that into edits and then start the second book in that. So yeah. And yeah, so I have to like actually get this stuff down on a calendar. I have my cozy mystery date down, and but yeah.
Sorry, your first draft is due by April 30th?
Correct. Yeah. And then I want to because I have a friend, she'll like do my alpha reads and stuff. And
Nice.
yeah, and then I'm doing the Romance Your Brand, Romance Your Plan by Zoe York, which I would highly recommend. There are also a couple other series author books that I can give you guys the links to, but I'm also planning other series because I do have like notes for them like hidden in deep in my computer files. So it's like, I don't know, it's like I could really make a lot of money just doing this, and I didn't feel that confident before, whereas now I do. So
good.
Your 30s, self-doubt leaves you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is very exciting. So
yeah, I'm excited.
Have you started writing the cozy mystery?
Yeah, I'm about 15,000 words in, which is not that great. But
no, your first draft isn't due until April 30th.
So I'm thinking like maybe 80,000 words at most, 100, just to give me some wiggle room, because then if I have to cut stuff, I can just cut it and make it tighter. But it is going to be self-pub, so I think it gives me a little more freedom too.
True.
You can
absolutely
because some people with historical mysteries like a meteor mystery. So.
Yes, very much so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, learning about the time period and whatnot. So,
yeah. So if Deb wants to go next, I'm poking you.
Yes, poking. We're gonna poke Deb because she came in after Lynette.
Oh, okay.
How you doing, Deb?
Well, I actually got 756 words, which is over my goal.
Excellent. Because you're studying.
And then I was worried about. Yes, it's insanity. But I was worried about my character. I wanted to give him a car, and then I thought, well, he's a retired police officer, so he doesn't have much money. So then I went to try to track income and see if I wanted to give him a Studebaker. But I think he's had an inheritance anyhow, so I think I'm just going to make the car come out of his inheritance.
Oh,
that'll simplify it.
Yeah.
The imagination helps. That's all I really have on it. But
you're making progress.
Yeah.
And trying to sort that out, I say this all the time, that basically no matter what you do in life, you're going to have problems. So the trick is to get problems you want. And the problems you want are called progress problems. They're problems you wouldn't have if you weren't making progress. It's like, okay, well, I sat down and I was, going to print out my story so I could work on a hard copy of it. And I just wasted 3 hours trying to get my printer to work. It's like, you didn't waste 3 hours. You had a progress problem because you got to get your printer to work if this is key to your writing. So you've dealt with that problem. You wouldn't have dealt with that if you weren't moving toward where you want to be. So progress problems, although there's still problems, progress problems are what you want. So there you go. Trying to sort out the car.
Happy to have it then.
Yes.
The
yes.
car.
Would you mind poking Michelle? I'll just Michelle.
So I have really good news.
Yes.
I set my goal at 4,000 words last week.
Let me see.
I think
3,000.
3,000. Well, I've got to 4,870.
Well done.
And I made it from chapter 17 to chapter 18.
Nice.
So,
excellent.
Yeah. Moving forward.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, wow.
Still haven't heard anything on the short story, and I'm kind of getting frustrated with it. Those of you who have submitted short stories, have you only submitted them to one outlet, or have you done multiples? How do you guys do that?
Allison, I think you're our short story expert.
Or has it only been to Chicken Soup?
Did you submit to Chicken Soup?
I haven't, but I looked at the site and I thought, that might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, they've got a thing coming up for cats. If you write a short story about your cats, and I know that you ladies are cat oriented, so that might be something you want to check out.
I have had cats. I don't have them now, though.
Fond memories of the cat.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This is only the first thing that I've maybe have published. I don't know if I got the letter saying that they were interested, and I don't know what comes from after that. So I can't really speak to having been published.
I haven't heard anything, and I've heard that some of these outlets are very slow to send you reject letters. Their deadline was December 31st, and I do know that they have the, I guess, June issue already formatted, so that tells me that they've probably made the selection to go into the June issue, and I haven't heard anything, so I'm guessing I'm not one of them.
Oh.
So that's why I'm like, I don't know what to do next.
Well, it sounds a little bit like submitting to agents, where
kind of, yeah.
Especially people coming up now in writing, trying to publish, who have had access to KDP and self-publishing online and what have you. It's a whole different world from the extremely slow, painfully badly paid publishing of the before times with print books or magazines or short stories. It takes, I mean, I for example, I remember back in the 90s, I wrote my first novel and I sent out letters to agents, and I ended up sending out a total, I think, of 100. And I got something back from most of them eventually, but it's months of just,
twiddling
waiting.
your thumbs and hurry up and wait. Yeah. Like I said, I've only approached one agent, and he didn't tell me no. He told me not right now. I want certain things completed before I accept your submission. So that's
That's better than most.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he liked the concept.
Oh, well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's very good. That's very hopeful. Yeah, because I remember of the sorry, I just let me the letters I got back. Some of them were they had printed out like we're not interested in this, what have you, but you could tell they had like printed multiple like versions of that paragraph. Like they put multiple copies of that paragraph on a page and then cut the pages and just stuck the little slip part of a piece of paper into the envelope to send back. And then there were some who didn't even bother with that. Never heard a word, not a peep.
Yeah.
And back then they didn't. None of them had websites, emails in its infancy. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and I know that if you submit one and maybe it's in a maybe stack in that one. Well, if it didn't make it into publishing, can you then submit to other contests or other publications? Because I know they're kind of funny about that. So I'm assuming if you don't hear anything, it's fair game.
Aletha just dropped some really good advice on that in the comments.
Okay. I'll go back and read it.
Oh.
Thanks, Aletha.
Well, okay, I can read it out, or Sarah, if you... Okay. All right.
Or should I be poking Allison? Or whoops, wrong way.
Let me just read out what Aletha, and then we'll poke Alice just a second. Aspie Third Eye, y'all make me feel like a slacker. I'm still waiting on and ordering art supplies. Not ideal, but at least the covers will be in the same family, consistent. There we go. That works. Aletha, the advice I always heard is not to submit a single story to multiple places at one time. It is better to submit different stories and then cycle them around to a different place after rejection.
Okay.
Aspie Third Eye is adding in, rejection letters become rejection postcards. Now that's just too thrifty. Your work doesn't even warrant an envelope. And also mentioning that the music industry is even worse. Your submission has the first 30 seconds to hit, then it's silence. That's why songs are composed as they are now, boom up front, no build. That would make sense. Well, the thing about not submitting them to different... Aletha's saying, don't submit a single story to multiple places at one time. It's better to submit different stories and cycle them around after rejection. But the thing is what if you don't hear back? So how do you know that there's rejection?
Right.
So
I'd take an email. Doesn't have to be a postcard. I'd take an email.
Yeah, anything. Some, and this is where we start getting into some difficult waters, because even with submitting to agents, there are agents who will say, if you send to me, I don't take multiple submissions. Like, you have to just submit to me. And it's like, okay, but you are taking 4 months,
to get
5 months to get back.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if you're going to send me a rejection. So it becomes, when you're looking for an agent, it also becomes a matter of who gets back to you. There might be a better agent for you who's going to offer you their services in 2 months, but this one got back to you. So it's like, don't submit to agents or to places for publication that are kind of like your safety school if you're applying to colleges, where it's like, I don't really want to, but it's something. What if they get back to you first? Because that's always a possibility too. So exclusive submission, this starts getting into some seriously gray area. where I understand they want the exclusivity. And they don't want to say, oh yeah, this is great, I want it, and then, oh no, it's already been picked up elsewhere. I know they don't want to hear that, but you've also got to, you'd have to be awfully clear up front about, you will hear back from me within 30 days of receipt, You know, if they've got a system and it's laid out on their website where this is, where you're submitting anything to anybody, then maybe you can go, okay, because it's very clear. But most places, gray, very gray area.
Yeah, my submission letter, I had indicated something to the effect of, this will be potentially sent to other sources. But at the moment, Cincinnati Review is it.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Aletha's saying usually you can email the magazine and ask what their scan time is for rejection so you can move on.
Okay, thanks.
Maybe that would work. And Cindy, hey, Cindy. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. Was there anything else you wanted to add in other than the fantastic amount of writing you did, Michelle?
Yeah, I know. I surprised myself.
But in a good way. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Allison, poke. How's the writing going?
It's coming. First of all, I wanted to say to Sarah, thank you so much for inviting me to come to the Do Not Disturb writers thing. And I want to tell you, I felt like I was like dropped into this busy world that I had no idea what was going on, and things were zooming by this way and that way, and I was supposed to like take a screenshot of this and put it on this and put this here and put that there, and I had a deadline by the next day, and it was like so please invite me again, even though I didn't follow the instructions to do what I needed to do in order to get what I was going to get or be where I was going to be. It was all new.
Did fine. You did fine. No. And what Allison is talking about, we had in the anthology that I'm in, all of us writers got together and we had a takeover in a Facebook reader group. And so in that, each of the writers had a 30-minute slot. Well, Allison showed up at my slot, and we have different games to win a copy of the book or a $10 Amazon gift card, or just in general, dropping memes, or, here's a meme game or something, just to get everybody playing and engaged for half an hour. So, in order to win either the like for the anthology, for instance, take a screen, follow this person on Goodreads, take a screenshot and put it in the comments, just different little stuff. But the whole point of it is to get eyes on the book and to get followers on your newsletter, in your reader, people in your reader group and things like that. But it was a lot of fun. And Allison, I'm glad you had fun. I'm sorry I tossed you in the deep end. I'm glad you had fun.
Yeah, I could only hold on to the edge of the pool. I couldn't really swim out anywhere that time. Because I'm like, Goodreads, I'm not on Goodreads. And then it was like, I don't even, Kindle, what's the Kindle thing? What's the app? It's like, I have the app on my phone, but I don't know about it on my computer, and they're not syncing. And I was just like, whole bunch of technical difficulties. But please let me know when you're going to do it again.
I will. It won't be until next month, but we're good. Well, next month is next week, but I think the middle of the month is when we're doing it. So I'll let you know next Saturday.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's see. I've been editing my other story for Chicken Soup, the one on elder care and Alzheimer's, and it's been very emotional because I took care of my mom for 2.5 years after she had a massive stroke. So I'm writing, and all of a sudden last night I get a headache, and it's like, oh no, am I having a stroke? Is it COVID? What is this? You know, and so I'm like trying to like not get all, I'm trying to just keep writing, don't, don't freak myself out, don't get stressed out. And I think this is a very touchy topic for me. I know that after my mother transitioned, I could not move the next day. My body was literally frozen. So I'm thinking maybe this is some residual stuff that's going on, which is good to get out and, cry and whatever. So anyway, I'm working on that. My deadline for that is today. I heard a voice call me this. It's like sometimes in the morning I'll hear this voice that says, "Allison, get up." So I take that as being one of my ancestors, telling me to get up. But it's always kind of weird when it happens. So I wrote my writer's bio, 325 characters, which isn't a lot because that's not words, that's like letters, right?
Right.
So I'm revising it and trying to make it sound interesting, because the first one was like, really, nobody's gonna be interested in that. So hopefully I have it something that I can use. Then I found out about so I'm going to finish up that story today, get that submitted, and then I'm going to look into something I heard called the Ray Bradbury Challenge. Has anybody heard about that? Something about writing short stories a la Ray Bradbury. I don't know. I just found out about it today when
I love him too.
Pardon? Do you know it?
No, I just say I love Ray Bradbury too. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember getting the mess scared out of me in high school when I read one of his books, and it's like, I can't sleep in the same room as this evil book. I had to like put it out. But it definitely made an impact. So then I have another idea. So I'm going to look into the Ray Bradbury Challenge.
That's fantastic.
And then I'm going to check an idea. I have an idea for Enemies to Friends book, which just kind of came to me. So I'm like, oh, this is interesting. So I'm going to kind of incubate that. I think it'll be longer.
Nice. Oh, this is great. Moving forward, the writing.
I'm so proud of you.
I know.
That's so cool. Oh, wow. And Cindy in the chat got her glasses fixed today. Oh, thank heavens for that. Yeah. I know I've needed mine redone for a year or two now. Oops. But well, you guys are just rocking it. Look at all the progress you're making, and the steps forward and leaps forward. Some of you. I don't even know which way to point. All of you guys are great. You are absolutely great. Yeah, Lisa, you are all doing great this week. Absolutely. Wow. Well, are we going to meet up again next week? Next Saturday at 4:00, and we'll share what we've done. And
Yep.
How's Harold?
Harold is he's dead. Harold is dead.
Dead again, huh?
Yeah, dead again. Yes. But yeah, I still have my no later than February 26th, 6 p.m. So I am spending all of my free time on that, and it's as over the course of February. There's so much else. I mean, seriously, I imagine by about February 20th, I will be rolling into my noon live stream and still in my pajamas, no makeup, hair sticking out.
Your hair always looks great, so I doubt that.
It does.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, pretty much just like, hi. Oh yeah, the thing. All right, let's do the thing. Okay, I'm going back to this, So anyway, yeah, just every chance I get, and things are starting to get harder to find time to do, but I'm gonna make it work because otherwise I lose the ability to use the pre-order for a year, and I don't want to do that. So, and it's time this book got finished. But anyway, all right. Well, thank you so much. Oh, say again?
Yeah. Oh, I said, yeah, that's all.
Oh,
I know
okay.
feeling, sorry.
Yes, good luck.
No.
Good
All right.
luck.
Well, yes. And you guys have a great week. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Ask me a third eye. I was so happy when I finally killed Yoshi. We writers are an odd lot. Yes, absolutely. All right, everybody, hang in there. And we got this. We got this. All right.
I love this group. Thank you.
Oh,
Folks.
it's thank you for being here. Thank you. This is wonderful. You guys are great. All right. Take care.
Thank you for hosting this,
See you
Autumn.
next week.
Oh, happy
Bye.
to do it. All right. Bye-bye. All right. End the broadcast.
Yeah.